Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the Professor, and this is the Moment of Truth. There's a reason the white media put this guy on. Sure, much of his success was quote-unquote self-made, but he was also heavily promoted by the white media, and not just Lionsgate. There's been no attempt by white power to take him down either, at least not yet.
2 days later.
Now, actor and filmmaker Tyler Perry sued for $260 million over sexual harassment allegations. The complaint filed in Los Angeles accuses Perry of creating a, quote, coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with actor Dixon.
Well, that didn't take very long, now did it? Now, for the one or two of you who may not heard, let me go ahead and give you a summary of this from the white media. A white actor named Dixon, who worked on one of Tyler Perry's TV shows, filed a lawsuit against Perry, claiming that Perry repeatedly sexually assaulted and harassed him while keeping him quiet, and he's now suing for $260 million in damages. The lawsuit says that Perry first noticed Dixon in 2019 when Dixon was part of the event staff at a Perry party and later offered an audition. Yeah, this is sounding exactly like the kind of accusations that have been made against the likes of P. Diddy and Jay-Z recently. Now, Dixon would first appear in a small role on Perry's TV series Ruthless before getting the bigger role on the political drama The Oval. What Dixon is alleging is that soon after he got on the show, Perry began sending him unwanted sexual text messages, and there are screenshots that he had included with his complaint. One of them said, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex?" But you notice that it doesn't say guiltless sex with Tyler Perry. The lawsuit also says that Perry offered Dixon an increasingly prominent role on the show as his sexual advances became more aggressive. Dixon says he tried to remain friendly while maintaining boundaries. Quote, Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Mr. Perry's sexual aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage in the sexual innuendos, Dixon's character would die. The lawsuit says Perry eventually sexually assaulted Dixon on multiple occasions, including an instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Dixon's lawsuit says that he clearly told Perry no, but you'll notice the Aryan propagandists, they state it as a fact, with their wording being that Dixon clearly told Perry no. They're sitting here stating that as if they proved it, when it's actually nothing more than the allegations in the lawsuit. The following day, Perry apologized, allegedly, and told Dixon he would work with Dixon on a TV pilot project that Dixon was seeking to produce. Dixon later received a raise that the lawsuit suggests was part of an attempt to keep him quiet. He said the fear of his character dying kept him quiet as intended. I gotta wonder if anyone's explained to this Dixon guy that when your character dies on TV, that doesn't mean you die for real. Though if you think that your career is going to be dead because of one role in particular, that probably means that you didn't have much of a career to begin with. Now, apparently Dixon proposed a TV pilot called Losing It, and Perry allegedly bought the rights to it, but the lawsuit claims that Perry had no intention of selling the show and was only using it for leverage over Dixon. Again, it's like these other accusations that we see against Shannon Sharpe and others. These people are claiming that so-and-so did such and such to them, and yet nobody calls the police, and nobody decides, you know what, I'm not going back. Instead, it's a matter of they just keep on going back as if everything is everything. The lawsuit describes several other alleged assaults, including one where Dixon was staying in a guest room of Perry's house. Really? So that's what happens after this guy apparently is groping and grabbing on you. Let me go ahead and stay at his house sometime. When Perry allegedly climbed into bed with him uninvited and began groping him, the lawsuit alleges. Dixon would eventually move from Atlanta, home to Perry's production studio, to Los Angeles to put distance between the two of them. In 2024, Dixon filed a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, and when that didn't result in any action from the show's producers, he quit. The lawsuit says Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation. Well, there goes that all-purpose word power, the very word that the white media loves to drag out whenever they want to make a black man accused of something seem like he's a 10-foot-tall monster. Except in Perry's case, he owns his own studio legit. Not a mere imprint, but an actual movie and television studio, and in his capacity, he did have the ability to hire and fire people, at least for his shows. But that hardly translates into considerable influence in the entertainment industry. Don't believe it? Just ask Taraji P. Henson. Being in Tyler Perry's productions has hardly done wonders for her career. For his part, Tyler Perry's attorneys are vehemently denouncing these allegations as false. Quote, "This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident these fabricated claims of harassment will fail." Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I am a keen observer of the court of public opinion. And from what I see, the problem for this Dixon guy is that the text messages that he put out there are so vague and so indistinct that they could be interpreted however you want. Frankly, it's weak sauce. Now, a number of people have said that Derek Dixon is gay and his sexuality shouldn't necessarily be an issue. But the truth is that the text messages from Tyler Perry that he put out there could very easily be looked at as Perry merely trying to make a gay actor that he has working for him feel comfortable about living his truth. The main connective tissue, if you will, between Dixon's assault claims and any of the coercion or alleged harassment that led up to it happens to be the text messages. And truth be told, that's simply not strong enough, at least not on its face. At most, you could say that Perry was perhaps low-key trying to come on to the guy if you believe what it is that Dixon's saying. But frankly, the text where Perry calls himself a stud, that text could easily be seen as Perry just being a typical Hollywood egomaniac. He wouldn't be the first. And the others could be easily seen as risque humor, but nothing coercive. Most of it isn't even offensive, truth be told. And I'm not sticking up for Tyler Perry, obviously, but I'm just saying the hard truth happens to be Derek Dixon is fighting an uphill battle because the only thing he's got is basically his word. He doesn't have any evidence of any sort of sexual assault or anything else. On the other hand, Tyler Perry has a bigger problem than Dixon. His accuser is white. Naturally, if there's any damaging or unflattering information about Derek Dixon, the white media is not going to be looking to put that front page news. And if they do come across it, they'll downplay it or just not report it altogether. Jonathan Majors ran halfway across Manhattan while his white girlfriend chased him. A crooked jury still decided, though, to find him guilty of misdemeanor assault. But we know what his real crime was. So if Jonathan Majors could get railroaded, it could happen to any black celebrity. And I don't think the timing is any coincidence. With the backdrop of the Diddy trial going on, someone probably thinks that they chose their moment carefully. I'm sure that there will be many of you who will be repeating my saying that when white supremacy is done with its tools, it breaks its tools. Well, as it stands, Tyler Perry is not facing criminal charges, but who knows? I'm not going to say that this case against him is going to break him necessarily, but then again, nobody thought much about the cases against Bill Cosby either, at least not initially. Financially speaking, Tyler Perry is the most successful actor of all time, and when it comes to basically being a media mogul, he certainly is among the top tiers. I can't think of any white media executive who literally owns their own personal massive production studio. No matter how much those white producers and executives and media moguls may skin and grin in your face, though, the reality is they hate seeing a black person outdoing them. It reminds them that the only reason they have their position in the world is white supremacy handing it to them. It's an annoying reminder to them that white supremacy was created specifically to prevent people from the dominant society from having to compete. It also reminds them that even a feckless bootlick can outdo them unless that system of anti-black repression is strongly enforced. That's the lesson that Ben Shapiro and his racist pals at the Daily Wire learned the hard way when Candace Owens broke bad on them. If I was a betting man, I would say that this whole incident is going to be buried. There's going to be a quiet settlement sometime down the road. That's the way that I feel. My gut on it says that that's what's going to be happening because this guy, he didn't take the first chance that he could get to get away from Tyler Perry. Instead, he was pitching show ideas to Tyler Perry even after the alleged harassment and even assaults took place. And apparently he's hanging out at one of Tyler Perry's houses too. So that being the case, yeah, if Tyler Perry offers him a quiet settlement, I think he'll absolutely jump at the chance to get it. And as for Tyler Perry, well, he loves to talk about how his shows and films shouldn't be criticized because they deal with the real-life problems and personal crises that black women in particular face. Well, now he's the one facing his own real-life melodrama, and perhaps he'll draw inspiration from it for his next TV series. He loves to put his name on the front of all of those things, Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters, Tyler Perry's The Oval. Well, for his next show, if he draws inspiration from current events, he could call it Tyler Perry's The Oaf. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Ginger Vine, Wally Bilal, Reasonable Dude, Marcisa, and Kareem Lawless. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.